am joined by former Husker Jay Moore and Sean Callahan. Let's start with that. Your thoughts. What tier do you think?
Yeah, I think I would agree tier 2. I think you could put them anywhere from...
Because it's Oregon State, Penn State, and Ohio State?
Those are the top 3
Yeah.
you put in there. Then you figure Indiana,
Michigan, USC?
USC.
Do you put Illinois ahead of Nebraska?
It's hard because of the blowout loss they had against Indiana. I think I put them, they land 7, 8-ish. It's a toss-up with, Washington's much improved team as well.
How good they are. Yeah.
But I would say they're anywhere from 6 to 8. But I think my top 4 would definitely be Oregon, Penn State, Ohio State, in no particular order.
Yeah.
And then
Michigan or
Indiana,
Okay,
Michigan.
Indiana. Okay.
And then it's like 6, 7, you got USC, Illinois, Nebraska, Washington. But yeah, I think tier 2 is definitely where I'd have them right now.
Is that where you'd have them?
I still think Iowa probably should be in the tier 2 discussion because I think they can play with anybody. I mean,
they showed it.
They only lost to Indiana by 5 points, and they've lost a close game to Iowa State.
Yep.
But yeah, I get Iowa is not as good as they have been.
Not sexy, right?
It's not, but
Has it ever
their
been sexy?
style of play,
It's never been sexy.
they'll still figure out.
They figure out a way.
Get to 8 and 4.
That's what I say.
Do.
Yeah.
And but I think the depth of the league, it might be the best we've seen in a long time. When you go 1 through 8, 9, 10.
Yep.
I mean, it is loaded. Even when like UCLA is the bottom team. I mean, that's a good bottom team. I mean, there's talented players still on that UCLA roster.
As of this week. We'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens.
What about that first question from last week? There were a number of people that had unsure down. Your feel through?
Oh, I'm sure. I love the way the direction this program is going. And this is still year 3. Everyone's still learning and adapting to what college football is and it has become. But I am very, very sure that I know that I like the direction. I love the direction of Matt Rhule. I love his energy. I love his presence. I love his commitment to make necessary changes for the betterment of the program. He's had a lot of people that have come along and followed him along, and he's made changes. He's brought, Marcus Satterfield was the OC, made changes, bringing Dana Holgorsen in the middle of the year. That doesn't happen at a lot of places.
Right.
Ed Foley, special teams coach with him for many, many years. I know Ed's still on the staff and still helping out with some NFL scouting, but bringing in Mike Eckler as a special teams coach, he's going to do the necessary things to get Nebraska over the hump and get them where they're going. Yeah, I know there's a bump in the road against Michigan, but we all know this team it's 8-4, 9-3 type of season in year 3. And I think if anybody you asked that before the season started, you say 8-4. More people said, yeah, I'll take that. But no, I am very happy with the direction of the program. I think these next 4 games are very, very important. But I'm excited to see the improvement they're going to make over the bye week when they have Michigan State coming to town on Saturday.
One of the things we noticed in the press conference is short press conference on Monday compared to what it normally is. I thought Butler and Holgorsen were both pretty. And then when Rocco Spindler went up there and he had very short answers, you can tell they watched that tape and they went, okay, now we know what we need to do.
Yeah, and Nebraska is usually pretty uniform with their messaging.
Yes.
And I think the message this week was we're going to be pretty tight with our words and short. I mean, no opening statement, which is a rarity. I mean, but, Matt Rhule talked to us the week before. So he already did the Michigan kind of postmortem press conference. But yeah, the thing that really jumps out to me still is Nebraska is ranked number 2 in the country passing the ball, number 1 defending the pass, but they're more towards the bottom in running the football and stopping the run. Yeah. And they've got to kind of balance that scale, and that was the priority over the bye week, and a lot of good on good. Dana Holgorsen said he's never been around a bye week in his coaching career in terms of the physicality and how they attack those 3 practices on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
You missed it by 1 year, but did you ever think you look at it and see Nebraska leads the nation in attempts a game? They're number 1 in the nation with, I think, 38 passing attempts a game. I believe they did the same thing in 07.
Yeah, obviously with the West Coast offense, Callahan coming in there, I know we got darn close. Yeah. Don't like it. I don't like it. I want to see them being able to stop the run and run the football better. Right. But you got to understand with Dylan is not a dual threat quarterback. He has some mobility, but he's not like Childs that we'll see. He's not like Underwood and some other dual threat quarterbacks. So essentially, when you're playing 10-11 football offensively, it is really, really hard to run the football unless you have a really, really good offensive line, elite offensive line. I think Nebraska's offensive line is good. Yeah. It's not great. I think we'll hopefully got better over the bye week. But this is what they have to do. Dylan is a weapon. His ability to throw the football is a weapon. You have great talent at the wide receiver position. Barney, Key, you have great tight ends. You got to utilize these guys. Hunter, right? So get these guys ball in their hands. Emmett Johnson is a great receiver out of the backfield. So you got to do what you're successful at. And if you struggle on the football, you got to find other ways to move the ball. So not surprised. Don't like it.
Yeah.
Definitely not surprised.
He's not mobile, but he can move enough like Fernando Mendoza, right? You can still go get a first down when he has to.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
Help move
Dylan,
the
I
chains.
thought in the Michigan game moved around. I mean, he was sacked 7 times. It could have been more.
It should have been
There
more.
were 3 or 4 that he saved the play and turned it into a big play.
Mm-hmm.
And that speaks to his athletic ability, but obviously the talent is the arm and his ability to make kind of out-of-system throws down the field at a high level. You don't really see the ball float with Dylan Raiola, even when he's not, with his feet set. So they've built this thing around Dylan Raiola with the receivers they've added in the offseason. It still is concerning the running game that they don't have more than they do. And I think we all recognize that in the offseason. Like Emmett Johnson by himself may not be enough, probably won't be enough. And they've kind of rolled the dice, and this is what they have. And they've got to make this work now with the running game to give this offense the balance it needs for Dylan to really be a guy that can utilize the play action and some other things more.
Yeah, with Nebraska off this week, I think a lot of people had a chance to watch a lot of teams Nebraska's going to play, and you see the amount of teams that have multiple running backs. Michigan State, their number 2 running back is like 230 pounds, and he can run the ball and catch out of the backfield too. You got to have more than one guy.
100% in the Big Ten play. I mean, I looked at my times at Nebraska. I mean, we had Marlon Lucky, Brandon Jackson, Cody Glenn. We had a stable full. And Nebraska's for decades have had multiple guys who could run the football and really successful at it. You've kind of heard Nebraska's, Holgorsen said, hey, we got some tricks up our sleeve or some new wrinkles. You're going to have to wait till Saturday to see them. He said that in the press conference, I think, either today or yesterday. But you got to figure it out. Is it going to be Mekhi Nelson? Is it going to be Quentin Ives? Is it going to be Mosee? But you can't – Emmett Johnson is really, really good. But for him to take the brunt of the reps, catching out of the backfield and running it, this Big Ten conference, man, it's brutal. It's tough, and all those reps is going to grind and wear on him. You got to have him healthy at the back half of the season. But you got to find that second guy who can come in here and carry some of that load and trust them as well to do the necessary things, catch out of the backfield, pass protect, picking up blitzes. There's a lot of little things that go into it, but hopefully they got better and identified that second guy who can step up there more consistently.
What about going forward, Sean? I mean, obviously you cover recruiting. But this year is important, obviously. But what about next year? Where are they going when Emmett's gone? What do you see?
Well, Emmett's back another year from now. I mean, they get Emmett one more season.
Oh, I thought Emmett was done.
No, 23, 4, 5. Yeah, this is his 3rd year. So
oh, okay. I thought
he redshirted 22.
Oh, okay.
And so he'll have one more year theoretically. But yeah, I think you got to see what happens with Mosee and Mekhi Nelson. They are bringing in Jamal Rule, who is a very good running back recruit out of Charlotte.
And he's bigger.
And he's having an outstanding year.
Yeah.
Jamarian Parker's a wild card. He's supposed to hopefully begin practicing at some point, but he hasn't really done much. So they've got options in Connor Booth, local guy that's played some this year. But you get the sense, going to the portal might be there, like depending on how the year plays out.
Sure.
You might need to go find a veteran portal running back because I don't know if you could go through another year just not knowing what your situation is and say, hey, we think this guy could be good. You want to have guys that are veteran players to play in this league.
What about the offensive line? Obviously, we talked a lot about the tackle spot. What's your feel on that going forward?
Well, it's interesting to see what the tackle spot's going to look like. Do they maybe move Pritchett to right tackle going forward? Because that's what he played more consistently at Bama. Just to get him on the field. He is I think, their most talented guy they have. But obviously there's a mental thing with them going on right now. The trust thing is jumping off sides. But I'd like to see Nebraska just stick with him and see what he can do, even though if there is a penalty or two.
I know that Nebraska didn't play well, but that defensive line is
nasty. No,
you watched his highlights.
Right. No, they're brutal. No, they were impressive. I undervalued them. Underestimated them 100%. But also you got to do things. Just know where you got to help them out. if you got to chip them with a back, keep a tight end in there. Nebraska's run a ton of plays. You know, when Holgorsen got here last year, Nebraska did a ton of tight end delays. Keeping Lindenmeyer, you keep Harburg in there, chip away, delay, right? Get everyone back in coverage. I'd like to see that utilized maybe a little more. Dylan can do a little bit of job of step up in the pocket if the inside pocket presence is clean. But ideally, got to run the ball a little better. Dylan's got to get out of his hands quicker, and those tackles just got to protect a little better. But again, I don't know if Nebraska sees another front four they saw against Michigan. I mean, those are Sunday guys up there. But the best part about it, I know Nebraska got better from seeing that type of talent, and they can work going forward off of all that experience they had against that front four Michigan had.
Yeah, what about the other side of the line? And look at the way that defensive line is coming around. And Williams and Wary is obviously playing better than most people thought.
Yeah, I think the pass rush, so in general, has to improve in terms of getting to quarterbacks, four-man pressures, and what they've been able to do. You know, Keona Davis is another one, you know, and Riley Van Poppel, two younger guys that you had high expectations. I still think we're waiting for them to kind of make that next move. Even Cam Lenhart, a veteran who's played a lot of football, you know, you would love to see him kind of raise his game here now down the stretch. But you got to have numbers. Gabe Moore's kind of been a wild card name that they've inserted out there. They've tried a lot of different things, but it still hasn't produced a consistent pass rush. And I think as they move forward, that will be something that has to improve in the Big Ten. You can't, you know, win very many games if your front four doesn't create natural pressure.
Coach Butler talked a lot about guys being in the right spot, having to make the tackles, and having to be able to make sure that they're sticking with their fundamentals. That's what this bye week was for?
Yep. Yeah, 100%. You got to get that stuff cleaned up. The stunts, I know that horse is dead.
Yep.
But it's just fitting off of them, timing of it. How do you fit? Are you forcing the ball outside? Are you playing it inside out? Or are you kind of outside in? Knowing where your help is, taking correct angles, knowing if you can take a shot, or it's like, hey man, maybe I just got to get this guy down. I have to, you know, kind of chop my feet up a little more to get this guy down. So just understanding how you fit in everything. In communication is a big thing too. I think Nebraska had a few busts because they just weren't communicating the right things. So all that definitely gets cleaned up in the bye week. I think nothing's better when you have a team that is offense that's struggling to run the football and a defense that's struggling to stop the run. Guess what? We're going good on good, and let's get it fixed for both sides. Iron sharpens iron. So I think that's where both sides of the ball could get better than this. But they got to get better. I mean, Riley Van Poppel could, come off that block and come back to that B gap there and make that tackle. So it's little things, right? And playing correct pad level, hand placement, so you can do those certain things. But it's a lot of stuff has to get cleaned up, and it will. Trust me, it's going to get fixed in this bye week. So I feel confident that it's going to be a much improved run-stopping defense going for the rest of the season.
And it's not going to get easier. A lot of teams have at least semi-mobile quarterbacks, if not mobile quarterbacks, and a lot of teams have a lot of good running backs.
Yeah, Maryland's going to have a guy that can move.
Yep.
Minnesota's going to have running backs if they come back healthy.
Yep.
They'll be good running backs. They won against Rutgers without their top two backs. But yeah, Penn State might be the outlier, and Minnesota's quarterback May is not real mobile.
Nope.
And Iowa's quarterback situation's up in the air with Gronowski's injury. But yeah, I think the recipe's out there. People are going to try to run it at Nebraska. All the big plays they've given up been on the ground. Nebraska is the only pass defense in the country that has not given up a pass play of 20 yards or more.
Exactly.
But part of that's because they've given it up on the run.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive when you look at those numbers, pass defense-wise.